All right, so some examples with the exponent rule. So using exponent rules. Don't mind the horrific handwriting, I'm not an English teacher. All right, so let's call this example 1. Let's say I got a squared times a cubed. That equals a 2 plus 3 equals a to the 5th. Product rule meant that you had the exponents, I added the exponents. These are progressively, I'm going to go through one example of each by themselves, and then I'm going to combine them. So the quotient was next, so let's say I have x squared over x. All right, technically, what you're going to have to fill in is, there's a little invisible 1 there, so make that look more like a 2. All right, so we have x 2 minus 1 equals x to the first, which I'm just going to say is x. All right, so you got to fill in. There wasn't 1. You got to fill it in. You got to remember that there's a little invisible 1 that you need to do math with. Example 3. All right, example 3. We got power. So let's say I got a squared to the 4th. That equals 2 times 4. A to the 8th. All right. Let's say we got example, you know what, I'm too tall. I gotta erase. What are we on? We're on example 4. All right. We got, oh, wrong side. Oh man, making a mess. All right. We got example 4. Say I got something nasty, x squared, z to the 11th, y to the 29th. But I'm put that to the 0, and all that nasty stuff is going to be 1, because anything to the 0 power is 1. All right, example 5. Now we got to do a negative exponent. So let's say I have 1 over w to the negative 7. All right, that equals w to the positive 7, because I flipped it. Did the reciprocal, found the positive reciprocal. I don't know if it's positive reciprocal. Was already positive, but I made the power, the exponent, positive. All right, now let's combine some stuff. Oh no, distribution. So if we have e x, let's say parentheses r squared times b to the 5th, and let's say that's all, let's extend this over w to the 10th. Let's say all of that is to the 3rd power, all right? I'm going to distribute, and I'm going to distribute. All right? Power, I need to distribute, I need to get it everywhere. All right? So that would equal 3 times 2, 5 times 3, 10 times 3. All right? Distribute, you have to distribute, gotta distribute. All right, power, gotta distribute. Now we're into the fun examples where math teachers love to just all of a sudden throw it all in together. All right, so example 7. Let's say I got x cubed z squared, another x over here, all over, let's say z. Okay, so I have, grab a different color. I got this and this that I need to combine, and then I got these two same bases that I need to combine. Okay, so first one, the x's are both on top, and this is all multiplication. Remember, when things are right beside each other, that's multiplication. Basically, if you don't see a minus or a plus, then they're being multiplied. So product rule, well, first I got to write in, there's a little invisible 1, there's a little invisible 1. So product rule is addition. What is 3 plus 1? 4. Not used to not having people blurting out the answers. Quotient rule was subtraction. So we're going to take the top number minus the bottom number. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Not a negative 1, a positive 1. So if it's a positive number, it will stay on top. All right, so I get, do the first power. All right, don't have to put the 1 there if you don't want to. All right, some people it clicks really quick that I don't need to put the numbers there. The 1 there is the only number you don't have to put there. All right, 3 plus 1 was 4, 2 minus 1 was 1, and because it was positive, there's no need for a fraction bar anymore because the positive number is going to stay on top. How about example 8? Let's get one where we get some negatives on top. So let's do W7 over W to the 4th, and let's just square that whole thing. All right, so we got a power, we got powers to a power, so we're gonna have to distribute. That's gonna equal W to the 14th over W to the 8th. Now you could have did the quotient rule first and then did the power. Doesn't matter. You can do the inside first and then this, or you can distribute the powers and then do the quotient rule. Doesn't matter. Just whichever one you pick, just keep doing the right rule following. Okay, so now we got this. Quotient rule is subtraction. So I have 14 minus 8. All right, so this is going to equal W14 minus 8. Why is the minus down there? Minus 8, which equals W to the 6th. All right. So we got our power to power rule, and then we do the quotient rule, or you could have did the quotient rule and then the power rule, doesn't matter. All right, you'd still end up there. All right, and what I'm saying is I could do this first, and I could do, well, okay, what's 7 minus 4? Well, that would be W3, and then that's squared, and then, oh, well, 2 times 3, W to 6th. All right, that way gets me W to 6th, that way gets me W to 6th. All right, it doesn't matter. I know some students struggle, some people struggle when there's more than one option and they're debating like, oh, this feels right, this also feels right. Just go with it, and then if you get it wrong, ask your teacher why. Example 9. Let's put a whole bunch of stuff together. Let's do x0, y cubed, z squared over x2, y4. This will be a fun one. Okay, so first thing, I like this. Anything to 0 power is 1. So I can basically just eliminate that and put a 1 there. Well, is there any point in putting a 1 there? I have other stuff. 1's kind of a placeholder. I don't need it. I don't need to put the 1 there, so I can actually just get rid of that too. All right, now I notice there's only one x. There's no other base of x, so I'm stuck with that. So I can come over here and I can put that here. I know that that's going to be there because I have nothing else I can do with it. Same thing here. I can't do anything with that. There's no other z's, so I have that up top. But I got this guy and this guy. They're the same base. It's a quotient. quotient rule is subtraction. So what I'm gonna have is I'm gonna take this right here, I'm gonna bring them down, and I get y, the top number, minus the bottom number. Well, I have an issue here because that is -1. So do you think it should be on top or the bottom? I'm gonna say it should go on the bottom. All right, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna put it on the bottom. I'm putting it on the bottom, but I'm also going to make it a positive one. Because the negative, it was originally here. I originally had this imaginary y to the -1. But instead, I just put it on the bottom and I made it positive because that's what the negative rule is. You flip it over, you flip it to the bottom, the reciprocal, and you make the exponent positive. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Hopefully that helps anybody who watches this video. If not, I'm sure I'm gonna look like a dork and I'm gonna be somebody's amusement. All right.